Okay, so this should be a short video. I just want to show you how to use OnlineGDB, which is the Python compiler that I'm recommending for our little Python bootcamp. It's not the only one out there. There are plenty, and even you might already have a Python compiler installed on your machine if you have a Mac, for example. But this is an online compiler or cloud-based, so we don't have to worry about installing anything. All you have to do is go to the website, and I'll make sure I have a link to it. It's onlinegdb.com. And one thing about this website is you have many, many languages to choose from, so you want to make sure that you're in Python 3. That's what we're going to be using for our boot camp. So anyway, it'll get you started, like when you first log on and you have to select Python 3, it'll get you started with a simple code file with a print statement. You can probably imagine what this is going to do. It will print Hello World to the console window, so let's go ahead and run that. It's very intuitive, you see. There it is, and your text window is down here. Everything is, you know, nice and contained. And yeah, so it's pretty easy to use. So maybe I'll follow up with another print command here. And, you know, one thing, I will be diving deeper into output and formatting your output, but one thing I'll mention here is the code that they got us started with, the hello world, is in single quotes. Double quotes will also work in Python. So if you're kind of used to the double quotes, which I am myself, then don't worry, they will still work. You don't have to get used to single quotes. So we'll say, welcome to our Python bootcamp. All right, and maybe I will also make that a little more enthusiastic there. Okay, go ahead and run that. You can see the output is coming along. And just, you know, one more quick little thing just to kind of spice things up and make it a little more fun. Why don't we add an emoji? That's one nice thing about Python is we can print emojis pretty easily. And I'll make sure I link to this, but there's just a huge page of emojis, just so much to choose from, and I can show you how to make one in that output window. This is the column that you're going to see. Some, like, it'll show you like the various devices you have. Some of them have really beautiful like rendering of these images, but unfortunately we're going to see what's in this column if you use OnlineGDB. So anyway, like let's say I want to make this lollipop. This is the Unicode. That's like a standardized code for that particular character. So I'm going to copy that. Okay, and I will go ahead and paste this in. Now here's the thing, this is not going to work. You have to doctor it up a little bit. First of all, you need to put it in quotes, double or single, and you need to put a backslash in front of the U, and then where you have this plus sign, you need to replace that with 3 zeros. Okay, you want the thing to turn blue on you. If it does, that's a good sign. So we'll go ahead and run that code. Okay, there's a lollipop, kind of hard to see, but there it is. And yeah, so you can play with those, and maybe I'll throw a few more in later videos just to kind of spice things up a little bit. But okay, so let's say this was a homework assignment or something that you had to get to me. What you would want to do is save your project first and foremost. Save your code file. All right. So maybe I'll call this my first Python program. My first Python program. And I will save that. Now, one thing I will mention is I am logged in. You have to log into this, and you can log in with a Google account, maybe even Facebook, you know, like the big accounts. So if you don't have a Google account, you probably do, but if you don't, just create one for this class. It doesn't have to be your real name, but I'm logged in as myself here. And so my program is saved, and basically, you know, if I wanted to create a new project, I could do that, and now it kind of, my other code file kind of disappeared on me, one thing I want to mention is this back button. I might be like, oh, well, let me go back and go back in my browser. And that does not work. You see, it took me to Google. So let me go forward and get back to where I was. So anyway, just don't even use the back button when you're in OnlineGDB. So what you can do is if you want to go back to your old code or what you were working on, you have to go to My Projects, assuming you're logged in. Go to My Projects. And I have some other stuff in here for other classes, but there it is. That's the one that I just saved. I'm going to go ahead and open that back up. So it's fairly easy to navigate in here. Now, the project is saved, the code is saved. And let's say this was a homework assignment and I want to download it, because ultimately you want to get me your Python code file, or your script, it's called. So I'm going to download this code. Okay, do you see that's coming down as a file with a py extension? That's how we know that it's a file with Python code in it. So I will go ahead and save this. Now, by default, everything I download goes to my desktop. So I'm going to minimize this and show you my desktop. There's the file. Okay. I'm not crazy about that name, main.py, but it's fine. You don't have to change it if you don't want to. The important thing is that you know that this is your Python code and this is what you will submit to me when you have an assignment or an exam. This is the file that I'll want. But if you wanted to rename it, I could just rename that my first probe. Okay. And this is what I would submit through, Canvas or whatever channel. You have to be careful. Like if these don't do well in email, these script files are typically going to be blocked by a lot of email programs, and Moraine Valley, of course, is pretty strict about blocking lots of kind of potentially malicious files. So don't even try to send this to me as an email attachment. Now, through the Canvas inbox, it should work. That's a lot more relaxed than regular email, but okay, in any case, there you have it. Pretty easy to use. My recommendation is just write all your code here, save it regularly, and it's always in that My Projects. Don't, just because it's gone doesn't mean it's gone. It's probably in the My Projects. You can find it in here. And then when all is said and done and you're ready to submit something to me, then go ahead and download it. You can download it from the front end, like I just showed you, but you can also download it from in here too, like in the projects. So you have a couple of ways of doing that. So hopefully you'll enjoy this tool and you will enjoy coding in Python.